Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the Daher TBM930 here in South America. We're going from Uruguay into the southern part of Brazil. Should be a nice little flight. Some clouds, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get in here and get everything set up. Hopefully everybody's having a good day so far. So this is a plane we haven't flown in a while. It was one that I started to use after I got comfortable with the 152 and decided let's bring it back into bring it back for today.
Oral warning, okay.
300. Oh, there's that. This should be automatically updated, I believe, as well. Nope, it's not. Go ahead and put that in as well. Get everything set up, and I gotta find out what our initial altitude is. Need that on. Let's put that is on. Okay, those are both on. Oh, the parking brake's on. Duh. All right. Let's make sure all of our lights are on. On. That's on. We don't need that on now. And I think, oh, we got to get our initial altitude, and we'll be all set. 9,000. Okay, perfect. Well, let's get our flight director on first. There we go. There's that. I think we're all set. Let's have a look outside. We got this kind of neat livery for this TBM930. Something different. Okay, let's go ahead and minimize this. Somebody left a quick like. Thank you. I think I know who that is. Alright, I think we're all set. Alright, let's go. Away we go. Put the autopilot on. Come on. Boy, it is so tough to get.
Pacifica 2377, contact Montevideo Center on 126 decimal tree. Good day.
126 decimal tree for Pacifica 2377. Montevideo Center, Pacifica 2377 is passing 1,000 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
Pacifica 2377, Montevideo Center, altimeter 30.00, continue to deliver as planned.
Away we've gone. The old crusty salute to the airport. Maldonado. Oh, nice, lovely view as we climb out. Of course, the problem is going to be that we are keep an eye on that speed because we're at a pretty steep angle. That climb out. So we should turn. We're going to turn and go out over the water, come back inland, and then make our way towards Port Alegre. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Alegre, not Allegro, Allegra. Chris is the co-pilot today. Okay. All of our other lights should be on. I don't think there's anything else we really need to worry about. I'm doing pretty good, Chris. Yeah, doing good. So I flew this last night because it's been a while since I've flown it. So I gave it a little spin. I flew the route that I would have flown tomorrow if I was able to. Kind of got to grips with the plane again because when we flew it back when I first started Microsoft Flight Simulator, it was I didn't know all the systems and all that, so I figured it would be a good opportunity to kind of get a feel for things again and how the plane works and all that. Alright, we should start to level off here at 9,000 feet. Getting close to it. Should get some speed built back up. So yeah, I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of...
Pacifica 2377 climb and maintain 14,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 14,000 feet Pacifica 2377.
So yeah, it was fun flying it again. So yeah, kind of maybe bring this back into the repertoire, as it were. All right, so Thursday, yeah, Thursday is going to be the long flight. I gotta get all that information together today. So, I gotta get that planned out for Thursday. That's gonna be the long haul flight, first of a couple, I think. I think the other one we're doing is on New Year's Eve. We're flying from London to New York in the Dreamliner. Yeah, tomorrow's or Thursday's flight is probably going to be a good 4, maybe 5 hours, I think. Something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a doozy, but it'll be a red-eye flight out of San Francisco, so it'll be, won't see a lot of detail or much in the sky until we get about halfway in, or more. We'll see the sun coming up over the horizon. I've been seeing in the forums some people have been having problems with this plane for whatever reason. I didn't have anything other than when I was trying to descend, it was causing what do you call it? It was like the altitude select would go up to like really high, and it would take a while to get it. I'd have to like just keep cycling it through until it got back to the altitude I was already at, and then go below that. It was a bit of a mess, but anyway. All right, so we are at nearly 14,000 feet. As we get a little bit, as we get closer, we may get another.
Pacifica 2377 climb
Yep,
and
there we
maintain
go.
flight level 240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 Pacifica 2377.
Alright, I think we now have to change our barometric pressures. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I didn't disengage. Alright, I'm gonna have to tell it to go, because it's not. Alright, there we go. So once we head towards Brazil, or when we get into Brazil, I think the altimeter reading is going to change because it might be covered in clouds, so that's a low pressure system, if I understood my weather sort of homework, I guess you could call it. So yeah, once we get to that marker, we should turn back inland towards Brazil. And then we'll climb up to flight level 290, and then we'll be all set. Be a nice cruise all the way into Brazil, hopefully. Maybe a little bit bumpy as we get inland and get over to the clouds and maybe some of the low mountains along the way. I figured this would be kind of a cool livery to fly in today. Something different. Goes across the wings. That's pretty cool. It's going to be quiet in the chat for a bit. Nick's got the kids at home right now, so I'm sure he's dealing with all that. And probably trying to escape to his man cave as soon as he can. So, anyways. Imagine Mello will pop in pretty soon before heading off to work.
and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290 Pacific at 2377.
Oh, I've been talking to myself. Pardon me. I had it on mute. I don't even didn't recognize I'd put it on mute and forgot to take it off. Anyway, so we should be following along here inland for a good portion of the flight. We're going to go past the airport, and then we're going to turn right. We're going to go ahead and go way, not really way past, but I guess in a way. So we're going to go up, and then we're going to turn and start our descent and approach into Port Alegre. So it should be a good good flight. I don't think it'll be, hopefully, error-free. But if there are any errors, I'd like to see how this thing handles the approach mode with the ILS there at Port Alegre. Hopefully it goes well, but I don't really know what to expect. So if we have to fly it in, we will. That's not a problem. We'll try to keep all the systems on as long as possible to get us as close as necessary, and then we can disengage everything if we need to and bring it in ourselves. So there we are. We are already essentially, and we're only half an hour into the flight that we're going to be at our cruising altitude, which is kind of amazing if you think about it, because normally you feel like it takes a while, you know, like they do it in little steps until you get to your cruising altitude. This is a very quick, see, this is saying right here we normally would be at about 19,000, flight level 190. essentially, right here. And then we would climb up to, or keep climbing, and the next one would probably be at 24 and then 29. So there we are. Should have a smooth, hopefully, rest of the way. Got somebody watching on Twitch. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully you're well. Quick reminder, so new watchers, you have to have been a subscriber or follower for at least a week before you can comment in the chat. For those of you who have gone beyond that week, before you chat, there's 2 rules. I hope that you follow those. They're pretty reasonable requests. So yeah, no stream tomorrow. Just a quick reminder, update, and I'll talk about that at the end again. And then we'll be back at it Thursday morning in the 747. We're going to take off out of San Francisco and head to JFK and go from there. So hopefully we'll have a good flight with that. We'll do the whole startup procedure and taxi out to our runway, get it in the air, and we'll be all set. Oh wow, see, down here it was 19, flight level 190. All the way up there would be the climb to 290. But that's okay. Hello, Amela. How are you? Welcome. I kind of like this livery on this plane. It's very unique. I like that little bit of red. It kind of stands out. Well, not even kind of. It does stand out, but yeah, really interesting sort of things. So. I wonder if that's Mick lurking over in the Twitch. Could be, maybe not. I don't know. It's okay. I'm good. Yeah, things are good so far this morning. Watched. What did I watch last night? I thought I watched something interesting, and I guess I didn't. Well, no, I did. Oh, I know what I did. So I flew this on the route that I was going to fly tomorrow, which has been canceled. And then I popped over to the F-15 and went looking for the quote-unquote Star Wars Canyon. I found it. Did some really awesome flying. I wish I should have streamed it just for fun. I was doing some very close flying. I think that would have made Bex lose her lunch, dinner, everything in her stomach. it was quite a roller coaster ride. Now, the only thing that the Star Wars Canyon is not, it doesn't feel like it's as, there's not much to it, it feels like. You know, like it's easy, you just zip in and zip right out, you know. And I think the Mach Loop is the same way, but the Mach Loop has more, you know, there seems like it's more to it. And there is lots of stuff around that area where the Star Wars Canyon is that you can fly through the low mountains and, you know, kind of create your own roller coaster ride, essentially. So I did that. That was kind of fun, just to kind of get an idea where it is. So I can take off and land at the China Lake military base. That's the closest, like something that can handle military aircraft of different types. So yeah, it's. But I had to, you know, I had to create my own waypoints to figure out how to get, because I had to look online. I had to look at the overhead map and try to find, you know, the location and say, okay, I got to go here, then it's like take a left and it's right there. So yeah, that was kind of fun. I was pretty happy with my performance in the F-15 last night. I was like, man, I you know, after I landed back at China Lake, I was like, probably should have made a little video with that real quick, just for fun. But yeah, it was good. So I'm hoping that will be should be a fun flight eventually. And parking brake. Let's see what else is on. So yeah, it was good. Just kind of did something to pass the time, and so yeah. But I think this Saturday when we do the Spitfire, we take the MB339 through the Mach Loop, and then just as an added bonus, we'll take the F-15 through. I was thinking the Grand Canyon, but I think we'll go to the Star Wars Canyon area, and just to kind of get, you know, have some fun with that also. Yeah, that should be good. So I think this Saturday, I forget where I know we're flying in America again this Saturday. This Saturday is oh yeah, we are going from Matoka to South Boston, although the South Boston is not the South Boston that you think it is. So we will be in America, and then we'll take the MB339 through the Mach Loop, and then we'll take the F-15 for a quick run through the Star Wars Canyon and surrounding area to continue our bit of fun. And then Sunday is, of course, our trip around Rio de Janeiro for our scenic route, scenic fun. So Thursday, 747, San Francisco to New York, JFK. Friday is, we will be in the Cessna 172 going from Oak Island to Bristol Johnson. Both of those are in America. We'll have a nice cruise at about 8,000 feet. And we will get that done. be nice to have a bit of a kind of slow things back down again after the long flight around from New York to JFK. I'm hoping, if we leave the weather on, I'm hoping we get a good tailwind and we push to JFK a little bit quicker. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So yeah, it's kind of nice to bring this back again after starting with it, and then we kind of started to get away from some of the earlier planes that we were flying in, but I think we're good now. So yeah, I'm gonna I think tomorrow, when I'm between appointments, I'm gonna try to get some notes down about fuel calculations, distance, and all that, just so that I can get an idea of what we're gonna have to start working on in the new year. We're going to start introducing that aspect of the simulator. We'll fly and calculate our fuel before we take off, and and all that. So that will mean that our flights like this may not happen in real life, because it may be beyond capabilities. I don't know, because they they talk about this plane has this range, basically, with, I guess, with a full fuel tank, that they could go all the way, what distance, because they make. And then I think we also have to start factoring in like the fuel, the mixture and everything. So I'm gonna have to kind of learn about that stuff, so that it feels, we'll start to add a little bit more realism to our flights, to kind of keep that well, it'll be a learning process. So, but I think in some cases we may turn that off, but I'd like to build upon that at a minimum, see how we do for a couple flights, and if it's too much, we might discontinue it. But we'll have, what I need to do is off stream, I need to practice a couple flights with it, just so that I get a feel for how it works, and check to see if my math is correct and all that. So yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of time between appointments tomorrow, so I'm gonna bring a notebook with me and my earbuds, and try to start making some notes about the calculations and everything. I think, let me look real quick, pull up SimBrief, because I think SimBrief, ooh, my batteries are, uh-oh. Oops daisy. I should have probably changed them before. Alright, let me grab the batteries real quick. Swap them out. Okay, I will disappear for just a moment, folks. I apologize. There we go. Back in business. So, anyway, yeah, I want to... What was I saying? Yeah, there's some things I'd like to kind of introduce some more aspects to our flights. Although I think for when we do our scenic, we'll turn that sort of stuff off just so that we can have a nice flight around and enjoy the scenery and everything. So, yeah, it should be good. Morning, Mick. How are you? Welcome. Figured you'd be in at some point, possibly. If not, I know you got things going on there at home. It's all good. Just had a brief interruption with the changeover of the batteries. Controller batteries were dying, so... Yeah, we decided to bring out the fancy TBM930 today. In this very unique topographic livery. Kind of cool. Of course, all the important parts don't have that scheme on it, like the flaps and the leading edges, you know, all the really fancy parts that help the plane out. I think that they don't put that on there because maybe it would be too much for the plane to deal with, but there we are. We're just cruising along here rather nicely. $29,000 feet, or 290, as they say in the aviation world. Got some nice cloud cover below us. So I think as we get into Brazil there, once we get below our altitude where we got to go back to our altimeter readings, it's going to be much lower. We took off at 30.00 altimeter, and now I think it's going to be like in the low 29er or 28. So we'll pay attention to that as we deal with our lower altitudes. Oh yeah, you got your PC is coming today, huh? Nice. I'm not going to say anything. I was going to say something, but I think I'm not going to. Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut. But no, it's good that you're getting it. So very happy for you. I'll just put it this way. I think I know, as far as PC gamers go within our little circle, I think I know who I think would be a really good overall streaming experience have some fun. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Oh, nothing's wrong, Amilla. I just I don't want to be too disparaging. I'm just saying that it's good you're getting it. I look forward to you joining Mick in Pulse's convoys. I think that'll be good, along with Chris. Swollen trigger finger. Uh-oh. That's not looking well for your battlefield excitement, Mick. Just don't forget to change your socks and drink water and your finger will be fine. So, yeah. I think between Mick, Pulse, Abella, and Chris, I think that would be a really fun stream to watch and listen to. I'll just leave it at that. There's nothing to be confused about. Well, no, there's nothing to be confused about. It's just an observation is all. I think it would be a comical stream, you know, with Chris and his antics in the truck and his crazy flybys and all that, and then, you know, your driving has not ever been that spectacular anyway, but I think between you and Chris, the carnage would go up a notch. I think I have a feeling between Amella and Chris that between the two of you, you'd try to outdo each other. Which would add some hilarity to the stream and everything. For sure. As long as neither Mick or Pulse are involved in the carnage. They find their own on anyway, it seems. But, yeah, I think it'd be fun the four of you in a stream. So. Wow, it is really cloudy here coming into Brazil. This is going to make for an interesting remainder of the flight, that's for sure. That's not good, Mick. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We need your trigger finger there in Battlefield there, Mick. The team's counting on you. No, I think it'd be great. You know, I mean, you and Pulse, Mick, I think you find your own drama without Chris, you know. And it, you know, like we've talked about before, the longer you guys drive, you know, it seems that's when the AI goes into extra numpty mode and tries to take you guys out. You know, and then you have to spend a lot of money on repairs, and so you're not really making much in the way of profits, unfortunately. But yeah, but I think it would be funny between Chris and Amella and the carnage that they would bring. You know, so I'm looking forward to that stream for sure. No matter if it's ATS or ETS, I think it would be quite hilarious. So, hold on just a second. Okay. Yeah, I think, Mick, you know, kind of like with FIFA and any of the other games that you guys stream, or even, you know, me streaming Flight Sim, I think it's a bit of a... People just feel too casual, you know, like they just casually come in and ask, can I join, can I join, can I join? Yeah, you had that problem as well last night, which was I was looking and it was buffering on YouTube, and I thought, well, let me refresh it, and then it came up with the screen saying that it had ended, and I was like, well, that's odd. And then I'm like, uh-oh. And I thought maybe by accident, as you were going into the intermission screen, that you hit the wrong button and ended the stream by accident. And I thought, well, maybe he'll just... But, you know, yeah, there seems to be some problems with YouTube sometimes, and that you just never know when it's going to act up. But as I was saying a moment ago, you know, people come in and just very casually start wanting to join, and I don't know where this idea comes from, that instead of coming in and getting to know the streamer, for instance, that you don't just come in and ask to join right away. You come in and you get to know everybody. You get a feel for what's going on, and I think it's just part of it is there's people who are so socially inept right now that they don't recognize that their behavior is not exactly appropriate, I guess. I mean, you know, if some people it doesn't bother them, you know, but for me it's like a bit of a, like, you're just making demands right off the bat. I don't know you. Why would I allow you to come into my stream? I don't know how you're going to act. You know, you may come in and start talking all kinds of nonsense, and then I got to boot you out. But but the damage is done, essentially. You know, you've created this chaos in the stream, which I don't want. So, you know, I think it's preferable that you have people in that you can essentially trust in the stream, and you know, it's not so bad. But yeah, it's kind of weird that I'm perplexed by this push by people to you know, insert themselves into somebody's stream, and it's like they keep, you know, insisting on joining, or they keep trying to push, you know, it's like that, you know, if they keep asking, at some point they feel you're going to break down and say yes, which isn't a very good way of doing things, you know. It's very childish in a way, to be honest. Alright, well, we got about 19 flight level 190 ahead. So we're going to get a little bit closer, and we'll ask for our 10,000 foot reduction. See how we go with that. What I think may happen is they'll say you can't go all the way to 190, but they might say go to 200 and then expect 190 or something like that. You know, it won't be, I don't know that we'll get a straight, you know, reduction, but we'll see. We'll get a little bit closer, but we are nearing the end of our flight, which is good. Yeah, it's just fascinating, the psychological aspect of streaming and viewers. I think it's a very weird sort of situation, it feels like. And I don't know if it's, I feel like it's gotten worse during the pandemic, you know, because people were looking for an outlet to kind of deal with what was going on. But then, you know, it reminds me of, you know, in Joe's stream one time where somebody said that, or maybe it wasn't in his stream, or maybe it was, but I remember Joe Burgess was there, and somebody said that they want to start seeing the passengers social distance and wear masks, and it's like, but why would you want that? That's a very weird, you know, people aren't looking for the simulator to you know, mirror real life exactly 100%. You know, it's more about, you know, for train sim, essentially, it was more about driving the trains and just, you know, either delivering your freight on time or whatever, or getting your passengers to their destinations on time. You know, it's rather odd that people would want the sim to reflect the real world. Beyond, you know, they don't even focus on the, you know, the modeling of the trains and you know, making sure that all that is as accurate as possible, and that all the bells and whistles work as they should, you know, kind of thing. But that they would ask for that instead. It's very, very odd. But yeah, I'm perplexed as to, or well, it's not so much I'm perplexed. I find it fascinating the demands that people make. Okay, thanks, Amela. About, you know, being they're so, I don't know if it's desperation or what, that they feel that they have to be part of your thing, you know, and if they're not, that somehow they're missing out on something. So yeah, it's very, very odd sort of I'd be curious to see if anybody with even basic rudimentary or even like a minor degree in psychology, what would they think about all that? You know, what sort of behaviors are being exhibited, and you know, why? But you know, maybe we won't ever get an absolute answer, because people aren't always going to tell.
Pacifica 2377, contact Curitiba Center on 135.8. Good day.
You know, they're not going to give away their whole reason behind their behavior.
Pacifica 2377, Curitiba Center, continue as planned.
I think. Yeah, I got you, Milla. I read that. Thank you. So yeah, it's very fascinating the way that behavior has been. It seems like it's been exposed in a way that nobody expected. Because somebody can, you know, I think part of it is that you have, essentially, people can be almost anybody in the chat. They can present themselves a certain way, which is not, you know, remotely the truth or anything like that. You know, but they it's just rather odd. I find it very strange. But you know, and some people deal with it differently. Some people just brush it off and go like, yeah, whatever, or they just ignore the comment. But that seems to only embolden that person to to continue to repeat themselves until they get acknowledged. Wow, look at these high clouds. Look at this. This is going to be a fun approach into Port Alegre. So that's the marker I was talking about, way ahead there. So, of course, the airport's a little bit closer, but we're going to go past that to that marker there, and then we're going to start ascending. But as we get a little bit closer, I'm going to ask for a 10,000 foot reduction, I think. See how we contend with that. We got plenty of distance, so I don't feel that necessary to ask for it just yet. We'll get a little bit closer, and then we'll start. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just that I've been observing, you know, over this past year, especially. Maybe more so going into this year. I think it's like spiked. You know, this push for people are making these demands in streams. I don't know. Just an observation. And it could be nothing, really. It could be, you know, just people are, you know, they don't think of anything of their behavior, or they don't see what they're doing as not so much odd, but just, you know, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, just an observation. I think as we go into the clouds here, once we start descending, I'm going to put the landing lights on, just so we can see. We like to be a well lit plane. Now, one of the things that I was kind of looking at, because I was flying at night last night down in Central America, what this doesn't have like the traditional beacon light either on the top or the bottom of the plane. It doesn't look like. It's kind of odd. I mean, I looked all around to make sure I wasn't missing it, but you know, you got it blinks on each wing tip there. Although it's kind of hard to see during the daytime, but it is there. Well, yeah, but see, even then, it's hard to. My concern, Mick, is that it's difficult to. You figure it by that point. They might be trustworthy enough, but you never know, you know, because people can act, I guess, quote unquote, normal in the chat, and I don't, you know, because everybody has their version of normal, I guess, but you have people who are they're going to act appropriately, I guess, in the chat for the most part, and then once they're in, you know, once that door's opened, then it's like their whole attitude, their demeanor, everything changes all of a sudden. And, you know, then it's like, okay, now how do you, you know, like, okay, you know, I thought I could trust you, and now I gotta kick you out of the chat, or I gotta kick you out of the stream because you suddenly decided to come in and start talking nonsense. So I don't know, it's very, I mean, I guess it's, you know, of course it's up to each streamer who, you know, if they feel comfortable letting people in or not. I don't know. Like, I don't think if it was like you or Bella or Chris or Pulse or, you know, people that I've known for some time, and I feel like, okay, you know, I feel like this person isn't going to act up in my stream, then it's, you know, but, you know, to each their own. I think, I mean, what we had at least 3. I think there was 2 in your chat last night, and 1 in Pulse's. That, you know, came in, you know, first off, well, some of them were like, okay, what system are you on? But, you know, you already, it kind of was like, you already know what's getting ready to be asked. Because they're wanting to see, okay, if you're on PS4, then, hey, can I join you? So, you know, they know how to set the question up, you know, that they hope that the answer will be yes. But I think, you know, you would Pulse both, for instance, if you wanted random players to join, you would say so in the title, like, hey, come and join us if you want, and, you know, but you have to be on a PS5. You know, you would put the requirements in, you know, what you're on, and, you know, if they're not on, you know. So I think you would be very clear about that. But it's like they don't, they're willing to take the chance and be a bit pushy, I guess, for lack of a better term, in the hopes that you are going to accept them into, you know, into your game. Because it's almost, again, it's almost like a feeling, or I get the sense, again, it's like this desperation of, you know, their friends they normally play with can't play that night because of homework or family things or whatever, so they're, for lack of a better term, it's like they're jonesing for that fix, you know. And if they can't play, like, their life is, you know, like, I gotta get in there, you know, like, it's like an addiction that they have to feed. And, you know, I think that's what it feels like to me, is like they're acting like this, like it's an addiction. And if they can't feed it, it's like they're going through withdrawals, and, you know, like, oh my, you know, suddenly it's like they feel like life isn't as worthwhile because somebody said no, or, you know, that their friends are not available to join them in a quick match for an hour or so, you know. I guess that's what, I don't know, I'm just speculating here, but that's what it feels like, I guess. And again, I could be wrong, I could be totally misreading the situation, but that's what it, just observing, that's what it seems like, you know. And I think it's, in many ways, it becomes very dangerous, that sort of behavior, you know. But I think, again, it's like it's a lack of maturity or something, you know. I mean, within the past 2 days even, I'd say there's been examples of it, you know, or within this past week even. But, you know, it's just it's rather strange sometimes. Yeah, that's what pushes me off too, and not even on my own stream, but just like in yours in general, Mick, or Impulses, when somebody just comes in and makes that demand, and that's what it feels like. Now, they may not mean it that way, but, and again, I think it's a maturity problem. It's, you know, it's like, a few years back, I used to live in a different location, and there was this 12-year-old kid who his family was having a lot of trouble, so he was staying at the house I was at for a while, and he would come into the room and interrupt the conversation. And I said, look, when you come into a room, you should look around and get an idea of what's happening in the room. And then when there's a moment, you say, excuse me, I have a question, or excuse me, I have an issue, whatever it is, you say, excuse me first, and then, but you don't just come into a room of adults and just interrupt. So that's not respectful. And it never dawned on him the entire time he was there that his behavior was not acceptable. To him it was like, I'm demanding attention now. Everybody has to stop what they're doing and look at me. And it's like, if it's a life-threatening situation, I get it, but you're just randomly spouting off some silliness. So it's like, no, that's not how it works. But yeah, I think again it's that lack of maturity that they don't think about, okay, hey, I should just come in and like, hey, you guys are playing really cool. You know, maybe at some point, could I join? You know, I'd really like to play. You guys seem like you're you know, really cool or whatever. You know, they don't think about that aspect of it, you know, of their behavior. They just think that that's normal. Ooh, I see a rainbow down there. Oh, it's raining somewhere. Look at that. Da-da-da-da, we're flying with the rainbow right under us. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's going to be an interesting approach. Oh boy, once we get below these clouds, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Going a little bit longer, and then we'll see if we can just go right to 190. And I think then we should be kind of set up for the remainder of the flight. Some very good reductions in altitude and everything, and line up for that ILS approach. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I don't know. It's but again, it's every streamer handles those sorts of situations how they see fit. You know, what works for Mick may not work for me, and vice versa. Or what works for Chris or Pulse or British Eighth for that matter, or anybody. You know. But the other thing I'm just thinking about too is it seems like if they feel like one streamer does this or acts this certain way or accepts this sort of behavior, that in their mind it almost seems like that means everybody is the same way. And I think that's another dangerous aspect of it, that they don't recognize that, you know, some people, you know, how people deal with things is going to be different from one streamer to the next, you know. Ooh, we get a little bit of ooh, wow. Little elevator ride there for a second. Oh, there it goes again. I guess it's good that Bex isn't watching this, because I think her stomach would have sank even just watching it from out here. She would have been like, oh no. Oh boy. But anyway, like I said, it's just observations I've made over the, especially I think going into this year. It's for whatever reason, it's like it's kind of gone off the rails, you know, for lack of a better term. You know, it's only gotten worse. And also the bots posting crap, that's gotten worse over time. You know, it's not even that they're putting stuff in, like, in the chat or in the comments after the fact. They're doing it during streams now. You know, normally I would get it, you know, like I would get a comment and then I would deal with it. But now it's like they're putting it right in the chat during the stream. And, you know, like Pulse and Nick have said the other day, or even recently, it's almost like YouTube, you know, what are they doing to deal with it? You know, you can report it all day and night, but, you know, at least with Twitch, I feel like if somebody posts something in the Twitch stream and it gets reported, they actually, you know, like you get an email, we got your report. And then, you know, if they look at it and they say, yep, we've taken action on this account, thank you for reporting it. Like, you get some feedback, at least. But with YouTube, it doesn't seem like there's that level of feedback where you know, if you report somebody that they recognize, yep, this was a bot account or whatever, and they deal with it accordingly. So that's the glaring difference between the two, I think. At least Twitch will tell you, yeah, we looked into it, it's a bot account, we've deleted it, or, you know, whatever. And you know, I think that's the other thing too. It's that sort of behavior has started to increase, you know, especially within the last month or so. And I don't know why that is, but, you know, Pulse has made that observation recently. I think you have as well, Nick. And, you know, now that I moderate both your streams, I've noticed it, and it's like, wow, this is insane. You know, like last night, I think we only had 3 of them, and it wasn't that bad. But, you know, tonight could be a different story. You just don't know. Wow, look at these clouds. This is amazing. Well, it's definitely raining down there. Got another rainbow there. I think the rainbow's been following us. But I wish that there would be some kind of acknowledgement from YouTube that there is a problem, that they're addressing it, you know, when it's reported. But it doesn't seem like that's something that I don't think we're getting that anytime soon for whatever reason. So, yeah, I think that would be something that they need to look at doing, is to acknowledge, because it's not that it's just affecting, because the other problem is that you're exposing kids to that stuff, which is a no-no, if you don't see it in your chat. All right, take care, Bella. Check your Discord when you have a moment. Have a good day. Be safe there in the city. See you later. Yeah, that stuff is being exposed to kids who may be watching the stream, either live or whatever, and that's not appropriate. So I would think that that's stuff that they would want to get a handle on and deal with. So, at least I would hope so. Oh yeah, look at this, is going to be a fun landing. Ooh, gray clouds. It's not even puffy. It's not even like the normal puffy clouds that we saw way back yonder. This is rain stuff, I think. Here I thought Brazil was all about the sun, not so much the rain, but I guess maybe this is their season that they get a lot of rain. I don't know. And and the interesting thing is that the stuff in Twitch isn't just, it's not porn links. It's just saying, oh, go here, you could buy subs. A, why would I want to do that? B, that's it's not appropriate. But the fact that the porn links are happening on YouTube is quite disturbing. And, it seemed to me in the past that it would be, maybe you'd get a few about, an hour and a half or so into the stream. Now it's like they're hitting it earlier, 30 minutes. Like, it's just insane. And I think that's the most interesting observation about these bots is, you know, they're pushing early on, you know, to get, you know, to post, and they keep doing it no matter how many times it's reported or, you know, blocked or whatever. They're back the next day with another fake account, you know, to continue that behavior. But I don't know. It's interesting that they only have this logo on this side, but over here it's kind of clean. I don't know, maybe they did that on purpose. I don't know, I think it's a really cool sort of livery. This topographic, you got this kind of dark gray with the very faint lines of a topographic map, and you got this nice splash of red there on the right wing, and then the back here you got the red, and underneath, you know, kind of a light gray maybe on the bottom. It's hard to tell with the light, but it's either light gray or just off-white on the underside of the wings and the ailerons. I think it's the ailerons. Anywho, we will start to focus on our descent and landing here pretty soon. So I do apologize in advance if I start to ignore the chat as we start to deal with the weather and all kinds of fun stuff. So, it is nothing personal. Sure. Alright, I think we're close enough now. Let's see if we can request that reduction right off the top here. I know we can request it, but let's see if they give it to us.
Curitiba Center, Pacifica 2377. Request flight level 190.
Pacifica 2377
Oh, we got it.
and maintain flight
Nice.
level 190.
Descend and maintain flight level 190 Pacifica 2377.
I was not expecting that. I thought for sure they'd say you have to go here and then you can go there. You know, like descend and maintain and then expect, you know, sort of thing. So now on a other subject that's rather touchy. So Mick, if you didn't watch the Peter Windsor video the other day, he did come out with another one that I think is just as balanced and maybe more it sheds some light, you know, from at least Peter Windsor's view about, you know, because he's been around F1 for quite some time, and it's a very fascinating video, I think, because he said, you know, now that the dust is kind of settled, and, you know, looking back on what happened, and, you know, one of the things he brought up was over this year, it seems, once Massey took over the race director role from Charlie Whiting, I think it was, he said the two people that are at the center of the problem is both Toto Wolff and Helmut Marko Maldonado from Mercedes and Helmet from Red Bull, and how he said this lobbying of between those two teams especially has gotten out of hand. And he said, I think the pressure came from both sides, and he tried to make the best decision he could in that situation. But yeah, give it a look, or I'll post a link. I'll send it to you. It's a bit more eye-opening because I didn't really follow this season that closely, even though it's probably one of the most exciting seasons this year. But I didn't realize the extent of what Massey has been dealing with, especially going into it seems like it ramped up in the latter half of the season, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it was a really interesting insight into the situation that I think you would appreciate. And I think there were some things that he said that I was like, wow, I didn't consider this or that, but it does give a better view of the situation overall. I think not a good one, but just the acknowledgement of the problems, I guess. Which I like watching his stuff because he has a lot of valuable insight, I think, into the sport and what's going good and what could be improved. But I heard, and maybe you've heard the same thing, Mick, I guess next season the radio traffic between race control and the drivers will no longer happen. He said that was kind of a good decision that they're removing that because it creates more... it doesn't really serve the fans necessarily. It creates this idea that somebody's being favored more than the other kind of thing, apparently. But yeah, Ross Braun said that's getting... the broadcast won't carry that anymore. So you will hear the team radio from the pit to the driver and all that, or the team and the driver. But the race director radio traffic will no longer be allowed, or they won't broadcast it during the race. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Not that I'm trying to pick at you, but I think it's a very good, well laid out video about the problems that have been that Massey has been facing. Because I know you appreciate some well thought out analysis. There you go. One of the things I do like about him, he was very even-keeled in his analysis, I think. Ooh, getting a little bumpy again. Uh-oh. Everybody get their sick bags ready. folks, we're starting our initial descent into cars on the racetrack. Spiky. Oh, well, yeah, but the only thing that I don't like about that, Mick, is what if you have nowhere else to go? Like, I get it, there's times where it's blatantly corner cutting, but if you have nowhere else to go and now your car's damaged because of that, then it's almost like then you would have somebody who would purposely force you into that situation and then take you out the race right then and there. So that's the only, that's a very, given how drivers are and how they can get very vindictive on the track, I fear that that's what would happen eventually, is they would purposely force somebody into that corner, into those spikes to cause damage. I think you make curbs, not curves. So yeah, you would. I think that would only add to a lot of anger. You know, there would be even more calls to the race director, I think, about you know, that somebody purposely ran you into those curbs to cause damage to your car, especially if it's like somebody who's fighting for the championship. I think that would cause all kinds of unnecessary bad attitudes on the track, as if they don't have enough already. But I mean, it's an interesting, you know, like I do agree that there needs to be some kind of and I think like in what is it, Paul Ricard, you know, they have that paint that basically slows down the cars if they cut the corners. I think that's a good option because it doesn't cause damage to the car. You're automatically forced to slow down, which is you're going to lose that position that you would have to give back anyway. So I think that's probably a better way, you know, like a normal curb. But if you go blatantly over it, then you know that paint somehow it makes the car slow down. So I think that would be a good idea, quite honestly. But that would require a lot of circuits, like, you know, Monaco. Where would you put it? You know, Pamia, I think. I don't know what EE means. So if you care to elaborate, that's great. If not, then I'm going to assume that you're a bot of some kind. And I'm going to have you... Oh, there we go. Right here. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that English is not your first language. I mean, you're more than more than welcome to hang out here in the chat, in the stream. I don't know what you're trying to say. Right here, I think. Maybe Chris. I'm guessing English is not that person's first language, so maybe they're not sure how to communicate. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and yeah, thank you, Mick. Okay. I thought I wasn't sure, but yeah, okay. Go ahead and just hide them, Nick. Yeah, I don't have time for that, especially as we're getting ready to land soon. what they put didn't make any sense. Even, you know, that last message just was like a bunch of... Anyway, alright. So, we're almost at our turning point, and then we should start descending into Port Alegre. Alegre, not Allegro, Alegre. No, it is Porto Alegre. I just keep saying Port. It's Porto Alegre. Thank you, Nick. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I don't care what Chris says about you. Yeah, I agree, Mick. That's fine. I was waiting for the same thing, but it appeared that was not going to happen. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say or do about it. I'd rather be safe than sorry. You know, if they weren't, I apologize, but yeah, there just seemed to be a lack of coherency, especially in that last message. It was just a bunch of nonsense, so. Never a dull moment. It was kind of dull when we first took off. You know, Chris was here. It was kind of quiet. You know, I feel powerful. It's like you're using Thor's hammer, huh, Mick? And not the hammer, the spanner. Thor's spanner. There we go. Thor's spanner. I mean, I wish it didn't have to come to that sort of thing, but, you know, it's just, there's too many things that sometimes it's just, you don't want to take any chances, and, you know, I think, you know, try to be reasonable, and then you don't get a reasonable response. Alright, you know what, I think we're going to go ahead and put the landing lights on now, so we're going to be going through the clouds. Oh, got a little bumpy there. I think the landing lights would cause that kind of action. Here we are well lit for our approach into Porto Alegre. I know you're still there, Chris, but it was, you know, you came in and it was kind of quiet for a while, and then, so, which is fine. I know folks have a lot of other things happening right now. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a reduction to 180.
Curitiba Center, Pacifica 2377. Request flight level 180.
Pacifica 2377, descend and maintain flight level 180.
Descend and maintain flight level 180, Pacifica 2377.
So we're a little bit closer, and hopefully that sets things up rather well for our descent and approach. Ugh. Oh man, I'm not really looking forward to physical therapy tomorrow. Yeah, I figured that was the case, Mick. That's fine. You got family obligations. That's fine. I figured you would be here if you were able to, and if not, that's okay. I understand that things have changed unexpectedly. It's all good. Right. Well, there's the U-turn coming up. We're probably going to be well off the mark. We'll have to turn and come back. We're going to go probably way wide, actually. I'm surprised we didn't turn earlier, to be honest. Yeah, but we're going to... Oh, okay. There we go. Ooh, listen to that rattling. Oh, no. I don't want to go on this ride anymore. You're mean for making me go. Alright, what's the next one? 15. Let's go. Let's ask for that right now.
Curitiba Center, Pacifica 2377. Request 15,000 feet.
Pacifica 2377, descend and maintain 15,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 15,000 feet, Pacifica 2377.
Right. Yeah, I figured we were going to be well wide on that turn. Yeah, we're back on track. Getting back on track as we start descending. Ooh, look at these ominous clouds ahead. Oh, Lord. Oh, jeez. Help me, Mick. Save me, Chris. Wow, we were way wide. Look at that. Goodness gracious. That's insane. Well, I guess that tight of a turn would have been too much for the plane, quite honestly, on the airframe. But it would have been interesting to see, quite honestly. I love how it just kind of it turns and then it kind of slowly, brings the turn back as we get back in line on the track there. That's really amazing. I'm always in awe of how this whole thing works sometimes. Fascinating stuff. Rich and entertaining. Alright, so let's see if we get an updated altimeter reading here shortly. I want to see where we're at. Our altitude, but I think it's going to be far below 29902. But they should give us one if we're in that range where we go back out of 29902. But I know it's going to be a way low. It might be 26 decimal. That is a lot of clouds. I always wonder, well, I mean, when I was young, I don't really think homeschooling was an option. Or many parents, that wasn't a thing that they ever thought about doing. I just wonder what would have happened if I'd been in a situation where I was homeschooled. How different would I be as a person? Wow, look at those clouds.
2377, climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
I think that's reasonable.
Maintain 16,000 feet, Pacifica 2377.
Wait a minute, we got 11,000 ahead of us, so why am I gaining 1,000 feet? Must be something there that they feel that that extra 1,000 feet is more appropriate than descending further. I'm going to ask for
Curitiba Center, Pacifica 2377. Request 9,000 feet.
Pacifica 2377, climb and maintain 16,000 feet. Expect 9,000 feet.
wow, that's
Climb and maintain 16,000 feet. Expect 9,000 feet. Pacifica 2377.
oh, I think I asked for no, yeah, I overdid it. Maybe. Oh well, that's fine. I think at some point they're just going to start telling us when to descend, and I think it's going to be at that marker there, which should be our token. I think we're not at our arrival marker yet. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild descent in here, I think. We're gonna really have to bleed off a lot of altitude. I'm gonna have to really expedite things, I think. Or it feels that way. I could be wrong. We'll expedite just to be on the safe side if we have to. See, it doesn't see us as at 16,000 feet even though we're there. So I think we're below 29092. Let's see if I can find out. Current weather. Let's see if I can get the barometric pressure. We can dial that in maybe and see how close we are for 2985. Okay, let's dial that in and see how. Wow, it went right to it. That was quick. We weren't too far off, but
Pacifica 2377, descend and maintain 9,000 feet.
Descend and maintain
See, it
9,000
does
feet.
that now.
Pacifica 2377.
now I gotta scroll through all this because it's acting silly. Oh, I was having this problem last night. So that's why we're gonna have to
Pacific
expedite.
2377, descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet Pacifica
Let's go
2377.
ahead. Just try to get the. All right. Let's see if our altimeter reading is correct as we descend in here. How far off the real altimeter barometric pressure is compared to what we're going to have here in a moment. I kind of feel like it's going to go lower as we descend through the clouds. Here we go through the clouds. Woo, look at that view. It's kind of cool. Boy, the Twitch stream is really lagging. All right. See, we're almost at 9,000. See what, or 7,000. I'm sorry, not 9,000. We went change it to 7. We're getting there. I think. Let me just pop open this and have a look. Yep. All right. So we're just going to take all our direction from air traffic control from here on out. Start looking at our changes in altimeter readings. Turn off the prop de-ice. Oh, does this have a... I think this has a wiper. Maybe it does. Oh, nope. Ooh, we're getting pelted by rain. I can hear it on the outside there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I don't think there's any wipers out here. Ooh, that is a really neat sight. Check that out. That's pretty awesome. Yep. It's definitely raining. Yeah, I would have thought there would have been like a windshield wiper. Somewhere. If we have one, let's take a look.
Pacific at 2377, contact approach on 120.55. Good day.
Going to 120.55 Pacific at 2377. Approach Pacific at 2377, 7,000 feet.
Pacific at 2377.
I got it right.
29.85.
Yay! I looked it up. It is correct. Yes. All right. That makes things a lot easier. What do you say? Continue to Buxiv. Alright, that's our arrival marker. I can tell you for sure. That is our arrival marker. Oh, look at that. We got the rain streaks here on the window. Yeah, this is going to make for a fun landing. Alright, I think let's get some speed back up here, but I think we'll go ahead and once we get past this marker, I'm going to drop our first set of flaps. Start slowing down a bit. São Sebastião do Carrai? Huh, interesting. Oh, I don't want to be outside in the rain. Let's be back in here. I thought for sure there would be a wiper switch somewhere. But maybe not. Let's go ahead and put on the cabin lighting.
Pacifica 2377, you are 26 miles north. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS X-ray runway 11 approach by a Foxtrot India Golf 64 radial 21 DME yard cleared to Foxtrot India Golf.
Wow, that's a lot of information that we didn't expect to get.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS X-ray runway 11 approach via Foxtrot India Golf 64 radial 21 DME arc cleared to Foxtrot India Golf Pacifica 2377.
Wow, that's way more information than we've usually gotten in the past. I feel like it's all official now and stuff. Alright, so the way we're going to go in, we're going to go to this marker, and then we're going to have this weird kind of curve into the airport, the final bit of the approach. So we're headed towards that last marker there. So it's like we're going to have this sort of, we're going to turn again and then turn again to go into runway 11. Boy, look at this weather. Man, oh man. Too bad Bex isn't here to see this. Too bad my lovely lady isn't here to see this. Probably still waking up. That's weird. Okay, the turn. I really thought, I'm almost positive there was a thing for the windshield wipers, but maybe it doesn't have any in this plane. Alright. Oh, that's right. Okay, so we're going to circle back around, and then we're going to line up that up. It's kind of a weird approach, but I figured this would be like the best way. It's the best way to do it, apparently, from my understanding. Ooh, got the double rainbow right there. Look at that. Getting back on this track. Trying to see. We're on this one. Okay. We're just going to keep on this one, and then we should... I think now would be the time to go ahead and drop some flaps and start slowing down here. What is that marker there? It seems like we're turning in for our approach now. I feel like we're... I'm a bit confused at how this is going. I thought I looked at it, but it seemed like it made sense, but right now it doesn't seem like it's making much sense. But I think it will eventually. I think we have to kind of go around these other markers and then we will get to FIG. Yeah, I think FIG is the final marker there. Back there behind us. So we just kind of have to circle around and we'll get there. It's always nice to try to fly in this live weather, I think, to make it a little bit interesting. Can't always fly sunshine all the time. Although when we left Uraguay earlier, we had a nice, it was very sunny and everything, but obviously that has changed due to the weather here. Do have my go-around information if for some reason we miss our approach. Ooh, wow, look at that. Look at those dark clouds. Goodness. Crazy. Okay, so there's that turn. Oh wow, look at that. I mean, it's not rendered in perfectly, but you know what? I don't really care because it's just something really cool to see. You know, even if it's not perfectly rendered clouds, but I'm just glad that we have that sort of. All right, there's that marker there. We're going to turn, I think we're turning more towards that, and then we will turn. Oh no, it went green. We haven't been cleared to land, so I think that green marker is a bit off. I'm going to trust that the system is working. It's too early to put on the approach mode. I think it's because we're flying over the airport, it's picked up that freak. Wow, look at that. Yeah, we're not cleared to land. We still got a bit, we got one more thing to do here, I think. We ignored that. We're not ready to land yet. Oh, maybe it's picked up everything. Look at that, the green light is lit up. Yeah, I think we just flew over the airport. So, let's see what happens next. I hope this isn't a broken flight. I don't think it is. No. Yeah, we're not cleared to land. We're not anywhere near runway 11. Alright, let's just see how this plays out. If we have to disengage everything and do it ourselves, then we will, but we haven't even gotten clearance to land yet. So I don't think we're on our final approach just yet. Wow, look at this dark clouds out here. Ooh-wee. Okay, that's rather odd. So there is the runway. There is the... yeah. Why did it not? It didn't give us permission to land. That's odd. Like it didn't, we didn't even get the reduction in altitude or any kind of stuff from the air traffic control. That's strange. Oops. Shoot. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Back up, back up, back up. Doggone it. That is really weird. Like we just totally did not get our landing instructions. Let's see if we say go to the next waypoint.
Approach Pacific at 2377 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Pacific at 2377, continue to Foxtrot India Golf turning and following heading 095.
Okay, so we're on our right track, apparently.
Continue to Foxtrot India Golf turning and following heading 095 Pacific at 2377.
Boy, it's getting even more rainy. Look at that. Okay. But I'm going to trust that this is going to work out. We weren't clear to go in. Yeah, it almost seems like, but I don't know, Mick. It's very, because I don't know how the systems work down here in South America. I mean, I'm guessing that this is supposed to be how we're supposed to go, but I don't know. It's very hard to say. It's like it missed the marker or something. Let's see here. Where are we? Boy, if I put on the approach mode, let's see what happens. See if that... It might... You know what? I think it's going to bring us back on track here. Maybe I needed to click it. Because this is a different way than I've done it before, because we've not had these sorts of approaches, I think, in the past. So let's see if that brings us back in line. I think it will. Alright, so it's kind of bringing us back towards that marker, it feels like. Yeah, this is a different way than I've done it before. But it's a learning process. We're going to stick with it and see what happens. If we can get close to the airport again, if we're like lined up and we're still not like bringing us in, or we don't get clearance to land, I'll see if we can't get the get it to if we can't what it might be is I might just end up canceling IFR. Then let's go. Oh, we can't request a reduction in altitude. Doggone it. This is a really unique situation here. I kind of feel like if I fly back towards that point, we'll get back on track, but I think we're kind of slowly churning that way because I don't know, we're slowly coming back on some kind of a line. Yeah, it's slowly coming back into the line here, but it's a good learning experience. Good thing we did this today, I think. There's the line there, so we should kind of feel like, well, we're in line here, but where are we going to go next? Let's see if we can get another vector here.
Approach Pacifica 2377 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Pacifica 2377, continue to Foxtrot India Golf turning and following heading 0905.
Continue to Foxtrot India Golf turning and following heading 0905 Pacifica 2377.
Nope, we want 095, not 18. Oops.
Pacifica 2377, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet Pacifica 2377.
6,000. Oh, look at that. Now it goes all the way in the negative. Good Lord. I hate when it does this. I had this problem last night. Alright, let's go to this heading first. Get lined up with that, and then we'll descend. I kind of feel like that's the one we're supposed to be lined up with right there. That marker there.
Approach Pacifica 2377 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Pacifica 2377, turn left heading 030.
There we go. All
Turn
right.
left heading 030 Pacifica 2377.
So I think I'm going to turn the approach mode off. I think it's giving us bad information. Oh, wait a minute. No. Oh, I got to keep that on. Oops. Oops. Heading. Go back to the heading. 030. Yeah, I think that's the one over there. All right, let's see if we can fix this. Good stuff. keep asking for headings and see if we...
Approach Pacifica 2377 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Pacifica 2377, turn left heading 030.
Okay.
Turn left heading 030 Pacifica 2377.
I wonder if the nav thing is conflicting with... Okay, that's off. Okay. What about now? Still have to look at our map, because I kind of feel like we're supposed to intersect a line again or something. R37.
Pacifica 2377, contact Curitiba Center on 135.8. Good day.
Going to 135.
Yeah, we're gonna have to turn left again, I think.
Curitiba Center, Pacifica 2377, 6,000 feet.
Pacifica 2377, Curitiba Center, altimeter 29.85, continue as planned.
Alright, let's see if we can get another waypoint update.
Curitiba
Vector.
Center, Pacifica 2377 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Pacifica 2377, turn left heading 030.
We are on 030.
Turn left heading 030 Pacifica 2377.
I feel like we got to turn even more. But it's not telling us to go there. Huh. If I turn the approach mode on, what does that do? It's not changing anything. Yeah, we're not even turning towards that marker. This might be a busted approach. Well, I kind of feel like we're going to have to take matters into our own hands here in a
Curitiba
moment.
Center, Pacifica 2377 requesting vector to next waypoint.
I kind of feel like we need to turn...
Pacifica 2377, turn left heading 330.
Ah, there we go. 330. Perfect.
Turn left heading 330 Pacifica 2377.
There we go. Alright, I think we're okay. Let's get to this marker and then we'll see what happens. We might have to land this ourselves if we don't get any, if this doesn't take. I feel like we've lost our approach somehow. Like it went wonky on us somehow, and I don't know why. Like it seemed like a really legit, like very easy sort of approach. But we didn't get our, normally as we come in towards the airport, we would have descended further and then we would have been fine. But I don't know, it's very strange.
Curitiba Center, Pacifica 2377 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Pacifica 2377, turn left heading 300.
Turn left heading tree 00 Pacific at 2377.
Pacific at 2377, contact approach on 120.55.
All right, let's see if we get it this time.
120.55 Pacific at 2377. Approach Pacific at 2377, 6,000 feet.
Pacific at 2377, approach altimeter 29.85, continue as planned.
Just go back to the right just a smidge. See if we put the nav back on, if it picks up and starts. See, now it's turning us back around again. I don't have the approach mode on, so why would it just suddenly take over? Oh, I do have the approach mode on. That was really weird. Okay. Alright, I think we're going to have to turn everything off and do it ourselves. Man. Like, none of this is making any sense now. We've lost our lines. And it's taken us, well, I don't know if I turn the approach mode back on in the nav mode. Let's see what happens, and then if this doesn't work out, I kind of feel like it's going to bring us back around. Let's see what happens. Feels like that's what we're doing. We're going back around. Yep. Keep turning. Come on. Who's a good little plane? You are. Who's going to get a fresh thing of oil once we get on the ground? You are. We even get you some new gas, too. Why not? Alright, so we're coming out of the turn. Kind of, but now we're turning to the right a little bit. I think we got to get closer to the point because we're really far off of it. Right, where is everything in relation to? Okay, there's the airport there. That is over there somewhere, but we're not even turning towards it. This is rather peculiar. It's behind us, but it thinks it's in front of us somehow. So we're not really turning towards it. So let's go to turn towards 120. See if that brings us back. We might have to hand fly this in. I think I'm just going to have to get back towards the airport, and then we're going to have to do it ourselves. So this has gone on way longer than I expected it to. let's turn some more to the left here. All right, let's turn the approach mode off. Nope, we don't want. Let's turn nav off. Nav is off. Go to, there we go. Come on, turn. All right, yeah, this. That's okay, Mick. It's all good. We'll get there eventually. It's a learning experience. Oops, not that one. This one. I just want to try to get to that marker back in sight here, and then I think once that's the case, then we'll turn off the autopilot and go from there. Alright, that should be good enough, and we're just going to fly from here. Let's turn off the autopilot, disengage that. Oops. Turn off the flight director. Oops, turn off the approach mode. Turn off flight director. Okay. Alright, so let's just hand fly this in then. Screw it. Let's just go towards that, and then we're just going to do it ourselves. Screw it. This has gone on way longer than expected. Alright. It's all good, guys. Feel free to comment if you want. Landing mode disengaged as well. Yeah. Alright, perfect. Well, this has certainly been an interesting turn of events. This is also what happens when you fly in an area that you're not really familiar with. So I feel like I have more homework to look at. All right. What I think I'm going to do, let's do this too.
Approach Pacifica 2377 would like to cancel IFR.
Pacifica 2377 IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Approach Pacifica 2377 is type Daher TBM911 miles east of Sierra Bravo Zulu 6,000 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Pacifica 2377 approach. Squawk 1577.
Squawk 1577 Pacifica 2377.
Pacifica 2377 radar contact 10 miles east of Sierra Bravo Zulu 6,000 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace Pacifica 2377. Porto Alegre Tower Pacifica 2377 is 26 miles northeast 5,900 feet with echo to land.
Pacifica 2377 Porto Alegre Tower Airport is currently IFR.
Oh, shoot.
Request denied.
Approach Pacific at 2377 is type Daher TBM930 miles east of Sierra Bravo Zulu 5,900 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Pacific at 2377 approach. Squawk 0304.
Alright,
Squawk
let's see.
0304 Pacific at 2377.
Pacific at 2377 radar contact 9 miles east of Sierra Bravo Zulu 5,900 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace. Maintain on navigation.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace Pacific at 2377.
Alright, let's see if we can refly file the IFR.
Approach Pacific at 2377 9 miles east of Sierra Bravo Zulu. Request IFR to Porto Alegre, ready to copy.
Pacific at 2377 is cleared to Porto Alegre Airport as filed. Squawk 0304.
Pacific at 2377 cleared to Porto Alegre Airport as filed. Squawk 0304.
Pacific at 2377 read back direct. Radar contact 5,900 feet. Altimeter 29.85 continue to Osoki turning and following heading 225 climb and maintain flight level 200.
Continue to Osoki turning and following heading 225 climb and maintain flight level 200 Pacific at 2377.
Pacific at 2377 contact Curitiba Center on 135.8. Good day.
135.8 for Pacific at
We won't
2377.
climb on our altitude.
Curitiba Center Pacific at 2377 is passing 6,000 feet climbing flight level 200.
Pacific at 2377 Curitiba Center altimeter 29.85 continue to Aztec as planned.
Where's our airport relation to us now? Okay. All right, let's.
Pacific at 2377 contact approach on 120.55. Good day.
120.55 for Pacific at 2377. Approach Pacific at 2377 is at 5,800 feet climbing flight level 200.
Pacific at 2377 approach altimeter 29.85 continue to Aztec as planned.
Approach Pacific at 2377. Request flight level 190.
Pacific at 2377 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect flight level 190.
Climb and maintain 13,000
Wow,
feet.
this is like
Expect flight
really
level
way off
190
now.
Pacific at 2377.
Pacific at 2377 climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 16,000 feet Pacific at 2377.
I'm trying to cut the. I can cut the corner basically. Let's see if we head over to this way and then turn left again. I think once we get over here, we'll be okay. Whew. This has been quite the adventure. Well, I do appreciate you sticking with me, folks. Hopefully we all learned something from this. This was a rather unexpected turn of events, I can assure you. Novo Hamburgo.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
Yeah, no, I'm not going all the way up there and then have to go right back down. We're going to stay right about 6,000 as best as we can.
Pacifica 2377, you are 25 miles north.
All right, so
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect VOR DME Zulu runway 11 approach by a Foxtrot India Golf 63 radial 21 DME are cleared to Foxtrot.
see,
India
that's
Golf.
way more than we've ever dealt with before.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect 4DME Zulu runway 11 approach via Foxtrot.
All right, so
India
we're going
Golf
to turn
63
towards the
radial 21
runway.
DME are cleared to Foxtrot India Golf Pacifica
We're going to
2377.
go straight here a little bit more, and then we're going to turn in, and we should be good. Okay, well, that was an exercise, not in futility, but you know, it's all right. We've got our IFR plan still filed so that we can land. So we're good. Because otherwise we would not be able to land. Because it's, I think because of the weather, they don't allow VFR flight landing. You have to use your instruments, so. But we're going to VFR it in, regardless.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
Wow, now it's turning on its own, and I didn't even do anything. What the heck? We don't have anything on. What just happened here? This is rather strange. I didn't even... Hello, Bex. You're here just in time for the craziness. I did not turn the plane, honestly. That was weird. Holy crap. Okay, I guess my... Chris, did you, like, hack the system and make my plane turn? Alright, let's do this. Beck's here just in time for the... It's been a crazy flight, but we're going to land this thing here in a moment.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
No, we are not expediting anything. We are expediting our landing. How about that? Alright, let's just head towards the airport and see if we can get this thing to acknowledge that we are heading towards the airport and give us some kind of clearance to land. You know what, even if we don't have clearance, we're just going to put it on the ground. Screw it.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
Well, that's okay, Chris. That was rather odd because I'm like, I got to start turning towards the airport, and then all of a sudden, I was doing stuff, and then it was like it just did its own thing, and I was like, wait a second. All right, yeah, we're gonna bring this in for landing. And hopefully, as we continue to go this way, hopefully it will acknowledge that we're coming in. But I don't think it will, because this is just turned into a hot mess. So we are going to go ahead and...
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
No, I'm expediting the landing. Screw it. Alright, we don't have anything major in front of us, so we're good there. So... I think let's just go ahead and take that last bit of flap off. think we need it all really right now. So 110. Or wait, no, 07.
Pacific at 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
Alright, this has been a weird flight tonight. Or today, not tonight, today. Let's fly over the airport first and then let's have a look. Alright, let's head... You know what? Because I don't think I'm lined up anywhere with the runway. If the... should be like 070 or 07... Yeah, 071. So... let's go to this marker here in front of us.
Pacific at 2377,
I'm
please
not going.
expedite your climb 16,000
I'm not going up to
feet.
16,000 feet, you weirdo. Let's see what happens if we go up here, because we should be turning right into the airport. If the runway's at 071. Try to get a little bit of distance so we have something to turn into and correct our... Wow, look at those clouds. We are flying through a lot of dark stuff. Alright, let's just head for that marker and then see if they'll finally clear us for landing. Well, maybe not, because we're still far off the... If we're supposed to be at 070, that's like heading...
Pacific at 2377, contact Curitiba Center on 135.8. Good day.
Going to 135.8 Pacific at 2377. Curitiba Center Pacific at 2377 is at 7,000 feet, climbing 16,000 feet.
No, we are not
Pacific at
climbing.
2377, Curitiba Center, altimeter 29.85, continue to Foxtrot India Golf as planned.
Nope.
Pacific at 2377, contact approach on 120.55. Good day.
Alright, I
Going
think
to
now we're finally lining up.
120.55 Pacific at
Let's just
2377.
go over this way just a bit, and then we
Approach
should...
Pacific at 2377 is at 6,600 feet, climbing 16,000 feet.
Pacific at 2377, approach altimeter 29.85, continue to Foxtrot India Golf as planned.
We should towards the west. I think. No. Wait, yes. Alright. Boy, my sense of direction is all messed up because it doesn't seem like where we're supposed to be heading is in line with where we're supposed to, you know, it's like everything just seems to be off right now. I don't know why.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
So we should turn right here. Let's go ahead. Just wait a little bit longer. Let's see. Let's go ahead and turn there now. See if we can't get lined up. Zero. Wait. Oh man. My sense of direction is all messed up with this right now. Alright, let's just go over the airport. Screw it. And see if we get at least some kind of an approach that we can turn in on. Oh, this is it for the airport. Oh boy, this has been going on 3 hours now. We should have been on the ground a long time ago. So it should be just almost northeast, our landing, 070, because east is 90 degrees. So east northeast. Let's have a look over the field here if we can. Get a sense of how things are laid out, and then we'll find a way to touch it down. This has gone on way too long.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
If we can get some kind of sense of... Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at the wrong page. Doggone it. I'm looking at tomorrow's flight that was canceled. It is... Oh, 110. Okay. Whew. All right. So that's east-southeast. All right. Let's just at least get over the runway or the airport and see what we've got to work with, and then we can make a decision from there.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
Alright, there's our... Boy, it is really... Yeah, you can't see nothing. Wow, it is rained in. So 110 is our... Cannot see anything. Alright, so there's the airport below us. Wow. It is really rained in. Alright, let's go over this way, then we'll turn back in for 110. I can't believe I was looking at the wrong page. Oh, it's crazy, Bex. It has been crazy.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
We got kind of lost in a way because of the weather, and then our approach thing didn't seem to work. It's been a hot mess for sure. So we're gonna try to do our best here to put it on the ground. If we can kind of follow this track and then turn back around once we get see, it's got the marker behind us, which is really weird because there's our runway right there off the tail. So it's like it's got this weird sort of wonky craziness going on. So we're going to...
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
So we're going to kind of go out this way, and then we're going to turn back around and bring it in. I just want to get some little... Oh, we are way low. Let's get some altitude here. Just to have something to work with. I was not paying attention to the altitude, but... So if we follow this along, and then let's get out over this way just a bit more, and then we'll turn in. But we're not going to utilize the approach mode and all that, because it just seems like it's gone haywire on us. Let's go all the way out that way, and then we'll turn back in. And I think we're set up fine. Alright, let's do this.
Please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
Alright, here we go. I just need to get this turned back in just a little bit more. Gotta go way more. 108 is our heading. See, now it's lined up, it seems. Alright, there we go. Let's do this. Oh boy, we are way off. Alright, we're gonna do this. Here we go. Finally got it. Now it's saying go ahead and... Oh, there we go. Alright. Man, this has been nuts. It'll be like, you didn't have permission to land. Get off the runway. Watch, as soon as we touch down, that's what it's going to say.
Pacifica 2377, please expedite your climb 16,000 feet.
There we are, folks. Welcome to Porto Alegre. The local time is, I couldn't tell you. It's been a heck of a flight, for sure. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, including First Officer Chris, who's done a phenomenal job today. We do appreciate you flying with us today. We know that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live streaming viewing pleasures. We are glad that you chose us. Let's see if we can tune to ground. We can. Go to the gates, por favor.
Porto Alegre ground, Pacifica 2377 taxi to the gate.
Pacifica 2377 taxi to gate 11 via taxiway.
Taxiing to gate 11 using taxiway Pacifica 2377.
We will be back on Thursday in the 747 going from San Francisco to JFK, New York. We look forward to flying with you again. There will be no flight services tomorrow. Oh, I'm glad that's over with. Wow, that was a hot mess. I don't know quite what happened. That was very, very weird. But it is. Wow. I wanted to go to parking, but apparently there is no general aviation parking here. There is this, which we cannot obviously get. We can't get the jetway connected or anything. We're gonna pull in here. Shut it down. Woo-wee. What a day. What a morning, huh? That was... What? We're just going to park it right here. Shut it down. That has been 2 hours and 57 minutes of flying that should have been way below that. An hour 55. Oh, Lord. Anyway, that is definitely going to be it for today. Woo-wee. That was way, way more than I would have ever expected. I will see you all Thursday in the 747. San Francisco to New York, JFK. Should be a good flight. We'll do the whole startup, taxi out, get in the sky, and make our way. So there we go. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thank you all for sticking around and watching that craziness unfold and watching it get fixed, essentially, for lack of a better term. And I will see you all later. Take care. Peace. Live long and prosper.